people have been asking, should there be a recount? And obviously Jill Stein raised some money so that there could be a recount of the Rust Belt states that were so-called close and cold. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. My answer to that question is, of course! Of course there should. Now, why? Am I convinced that the system was rigged and that the election was stolen? No, I'm not convinced of that at all because there's no evidence to that effect. Now, I'm always puzzled / annoyed at people who are absolutely convinced of something one way or another without gathering evidence first. How would we know if it was rigged or not rigged without any evidence? So, now, if you're a Trump partisan, I get it. You don't want to recount because if I won, I wouldn't want to recount either because all it does is endanger whether you're actually going to be president or not. But if you're any other American and you're not on Trump's team, there's no harm in a recount. So likely what will happen is they'll find out, no, nobody played with the system and Trump won. And even if he winds up not winning Wisconsin, but he won Michigan and Pennsylvania, he's still going to win, right? So then why do I want to recount? Well, for 4 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, plus Florida, the margin of victory was 1.3% or less. So those are very, very close elections. You know, in Wisconsin, it was just an 11,000 vote margin, and then there's Michigan, 27,000. So those are very tight, and Pennsylvania as well. So, okay, the talking point that people put out there of oh my God, everything has to be resolved right away. Okay, why? What's the harm in taking another week or 2 weeks? The president doesn't become president until January 20th. This is the same nonsense they did in 2000. Oh my God, there's uncertainty. No, the most important thing is to pick the right guy and make sure you pick the right guy. So just calm down, recount them, and there doesn't need to be any panic over it. Oh yeah, if Hillary Clinton had won, would you mind a recount? No, I wouldn't mind a recount. I don't think Hillary Clinton rigged it, obviously. I never thought she had rigged the general election like Trump was saying. And since she lost, we've got pretty good evidence that she didn't rig it. So since I never believed that she had rigged it, I wouldn't mind a recount. Now, if you think that Trump rigged it, then you don't want to recount. Now, is Trump capable of rigging an election? No. He's too incompetent. But there was a story out, and I tweeted this the other night, that the Russians had hacked into Arizona and I believe Illinois' voting system in August of this year. So just a couple of months ago. Now, do I think that means that the Russians definitely hacked in and stole the election for Trump? No, because there's no evidence of that right now. But if all 4 of those states are so close, within 1 point basically, up to 1.3 points, then let's just double check. There's no harm in double checking. And I'm not saying double check to make sure that it wasn't the Russians or the Norwegians or whatever. Whatever normal system we have for double checking and recounting, now that Jill Stein has raised the money, it's not remotely controversial. Just do it. And don't jump to any conclusions if you're a Hillary person, a Trump person, or neither. Let's just find out what happened. One of the things that drives me crazy is in 2000, like I said, everybody panicked. Don't recount, don't recount. And if it turns out you'd recounted, there was a reason why the partisans freaked out. Because it turns out Al Gore would have won under every recount of the full state of Florida. So just calm down and do it the right way. Now, by the way, she now has over a 2 million vote lead in the Electoral College. Some people say, good friends of mine, good, decent progressives say, the electors should just vote for Hillary Clinton instead because she won the popular vote. Look, I think the Electoral College is insane. I think we need to change it immediately. The fact that 40% of the elections in this century have been, the voters' will has been overturned by the Electoral College because the person who did not win the popular vote wound up becoming president, that's crazy. That's not a democracy. The Electoral College is the original superdelegates. So, and right now, if I was a Democrat, I would fight tooth and nail to get rid of the Electoral College in every way imaginable. But as usual, the Democrats are like, oh, no, Electoral College is fine. No, just take away all my victories. I don't mind. They're so weak. It's so pathetic. I would fight against it. All Americans should fight against it, because what if it overturns a Republican victory the next time? That's not the right system. It's not democratic. But for people saying the electors should just ignore the Electoral College and vote for Hillary Clinton instead, I don't agree. If Donald Trump won the Electoral College and you recount and there's no shenanigans and he just won it, but he lost the popular vote, well, sad day. We should have changed the Electoral College earlier. But you didn't change it earlier. So Democrats, after you didn't fight in 2000 to change the Electoral College, don't come crying now if you lost under this system. Now, I can't stand it that Donald Trump's going to be president, but that's a sad day for me and a sad day for everybody who voted against Donald Trump. You should have changed the Electoral College earlier. You can't change the rules afterwards. That would be unacceptable, in my opinion. Okay, now go recount those 3. I would recount all 4 states and see what happens. And that's also part of our very, very normal part of our system and a functioning democracy. Not